Here we go, here we go. Woo, she's a little dicey getting out the inlet. Wow. Woo. Woof, we made it to Treasure and actually made a really good time. Good morning, everyone. What is going on? Nico Lind here. It's an exciting day today because it is crossing day. I don't know if y'all can see that, but we got the Bahama ready to go. Crossing out of here from Melbourne, straight to Treasure Cay, and should be a good one. Should be pretty flat. Might hit some storms by the corner, but I don't know if y'all can see that, but this is our first crossing with some new motors in the Bahama, which obviously y'all will see in the video, but I'm not going to show you too much of them because I'm going to dedicate a whole video to the repower, but should be a good little test drive for them. A little 6 to 7 hour crossing over, so let's get this boat in the water and let's get to it. All right, so we made it off the dock. You can see I'm not alone. I got my beautiful mom.
Hi.
Crossing with me. Her first time crossing from here in how many years?
Oh my gosh, from here?
Yeah.
I don't even think I've been married to your father, so we've been married 33 years.
So over 33 years, so I think it should be a good one for her though. It's not supposed to be very rough. It's like 3 feet at 7 seconds, which this boat absolutely eats up. There will be some thunderstorms though, so might have to do some zigging and zagging. But I talked to a couple people who watched the last crossing video on a 34 CV, and a lot of them, asked if I could do a little more in-depth, actually walking through, each waypoint, how I get on the bank and all that, instead of just kind of talking what I'm doing. And so I'm going to try to make this crossing video a little bit more in-depth, talk about I'm going here, 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 and why I'm doing this and why I'm doing that. And so this one should be a pretty informative one for you guys, but yeah. So first thing we have to do, the boat's up in Melbourne, so to get offshore, we have to run down to Sebastian, which is like a 18-ish mile run or something like that. And so we're gonna get up on plane, run down to Sebastian, and get going. So far, so good. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty nice day. A little bit of clouds, but no rain, no thunder, no lightning. So let's hope it holds up. Let's go ahead and get to it. It's always something. Of course, I forgot my snacks. My snacks for the ride over in case we get stuck in a long day, but my dad's being nice and he's delivering them to us at one of the public docks on the way, so we're back in business. We're back in business. Go time. Say hello. We're still only in the river, but look at this morning. Absolutely stunning. I hope it's a sign of things to come today. And again, not going to talk about it too much, but new motors are badass, pushing this heavy load. The sun has finally come out. Look at that morning. Let's go. This island right here, that's the Grant Farm Island. It's just islands here in the Intercoastal with a bunch of houses on it. The only way to get to it is by boat. I think it might be the only one like this in the entire Indian River Lagoon down here. Super cool little place. You can see the little houses there. Actually, y'all probably can't because the sun's behind it, but take my word for it. I've always thought it'd be pretty cool to have a little house down there as a little weekend camp. Maybe one day. All right, we made it to the inlet. That's Sebastian Inlet right there. You can see the bridge here. Woo! About to see what kind of day it's going to be. If my calculations are correct, should be a pretty nice one, but going out the inlet. I'm gonna put y'all on the head cam so y'all can see getting out the channel and out the inlet. Once we're out offshore, I'm gonna walk you guys through kind of the waypoints I take to get all the way to Treasure Cay. So should be a good one. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go, here we go. And we are on a mid-tide, it's an outgoing tide, and so it's an east wind as well, so with an outgoing tide and an east wind, it might be a little bit bumpy here in the channel, getting out the inlet, but once we're out of this inlet slop, I think it should be really, really nice. We're good. Just getting out of this inlet. Stand up, hold on. There's no alternative here for me to do this. Woo, she's a little dicey getting out the inlet.
Wow.
Woo! Woo! All right. I can see past the inlet slop and it's real nice out there. Woo! That outgoing tide and east wind causes inlets to stack up like that here on the east coast of Florida, and it can be quite uncomfortable, as y'all just saw. But it's already getting smoother. Let's go! See it? Look how flat it's getting out there.
Okay. I was getting worried.
That's
I was like, is this gonna be all?
that's Sebastian Inlet for you.
I know. It's been so long since I've been
Yeah.
out.
Woo! Giddy up! All right, we made it through Sebastian. As y'all could hear me screaming, got a little bit rough there. It's a mid-tide, so the tide is swinging, going out, east wind. The two of them kind of push up and just create these big standing waves. A little bit bumpy. What'd you think?
It was bumpy, but it's okay.
We made it. And so now, we're lucky here. When we head out to Sebastian, I can literally head straight to Great Sail. And once we get on the bank, here, I'll zoom out here. Whoop. You can see this. Zoom out. You can see heading out of Sebastian, I can head straight to Great Sail, which is right here. Which usually, if you come from Stewart or Palm Beach, you kind of have to work your way to get on the bank. From Melbourne, it's a straight shot to Great Sail. The quickest way is to pass just northeast of Great Sail and then continue on down to Spanish and the Abacos. And so, let me plug that in. You can see I have the waypoint set as Little Sail. Let's do that. Navigate to. Engage. All right, we're there. Whew. Let the boat turn, do its thing. Perfect, all right. We have 127 miles to go. I'll keep y'all updated, but hopefully it should only be about a 3 to 4 hour, probably 4 hour trip over there. So we'll see. Right now it is 6:50. So 4 hours, we should be there by 11 o'clock. I'll keep y'all updated, see how the conditions go. So far, so good. Not bad at all. It's about a 2.5 foot swell, no chop on top, so let's hope this holds out and it continues. right, so we just passed the less than 100-mile mark to the first waypoint. And so before I get into an update, this is a good time to remind you guys, please, if you like the video, like the boats, like the Bahamas, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you want to see. It's a huge help to me, lets me know you guys like my content, and you know, helps me to keep creating more content. But enough of that. We have 99 miles to go until we hit Little Sail. You can see there, 99 miles, and the sun has all but disappeared. Super overcast and cloudy, which at least is keeping, you know, the sun fatigue off. And luckily, it was supposed to be stormy in the morning. Luckily, so far, we haven't seen any rain. You know, I can see out to 18 miles on the radar right now. Haven't seen a speck at all. So, fingers crossed that we get lucky. I wish I had some wood to knock onto, but it's definitely picked up a little bit. It's probably a little bit more rough than the forecast called for. The forecast was like 2 to 3s at 8 seconds, or at 7 seconds. This is probably a true 3 to 4, so not that much more. It's probably at 8 seconds, so it's not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, we slowed it down a little bit. We're cruising 30 knots, which, believe it or not, on this boat is a really slow cruise, which is awesome. But still making pretty good headway. At this rate, we should be at Little Sail at like 11 o'clock. So we'll keep going. I'll update you guys if anything changes, we see anything cool, if we get rain, sun, whatever it might be. If you don't hear from me, you know, or if it doesn't rain or nothing interesting happens, my next update will be when we hit the corner and get into Bahamian water. So keep watching. Quick update for you guys that something's changed. As we get into the Gulf Stream, it's actually glassing out pretty nicely. There's essentially no wind chop whatsoever. Look at this. I will take this all day, every day, and I think it's just, you know, with the Gulf Stream moving north at 5-6 knots, whatever it does, and today there's not a lot of wind. It's like 8 knots of wind out of the south. So I think those two things working together are calming the Gulf Stream nicely. So this is superb. Very comfy ride so far. Still, no signs of rain whatsoever. All right, so we made it onto the bank here. Oh boy, as you can see, oh my God, we're on the bank. We have about 50 miles to go till we get to Sail, so not bad at all. We made pretty good timing out there. I really had nothing to update you guys because it wasn't, it was pretty uneventful, which is just the way we were on these crossings, so it was perfect. Although once we got up on the bank here, per usual, there's quite the bank chop up here, so I'm not having to slow down at all, but I'm not able to speed up like I wish I could and still be comfortable. But we got, like I said, 50 miles when we get to Sail, so it's going to be a whole lot more the same. Once we get closer down there to Walker's and Grand and all that, there are a couple sandbars that we have to go around, you know, Lily's Bank, Carter's Bank. But once we get close to those sandbars, I'll go ahead and update you and show you kind of where to watch out for them and whatnot, but we're still chugging along. I gotta say, the minute we left the inlet, the tarp that's over the chest freezer back there started just going crazy and coming off, and I was fully expecting to have to stop or slow down to handle that, take the tarp off, do whatever, tie it down. But we're, you know, a little less than 100 miles in, and it's still holding strong. I can tell it's holding on by a thread, but holding strong. All right, so cruising down the bank, it's actually getting a little bit calmer, which is nice. So I think in a little bit here, I'm gonna give it some more throttle. let these new motors go to work and show you what they can do, which, again, not going to talk about it much, but pretty impressive that I'm sitting at 31 knots doing 3,600 RPM only. Pretty damn impressive. But we're approaching the first little sandbar you have to look out for. It's called Lily Bank. You can see it right there. Oh no. Sorry, a little bit bumpy, but you can see that sandbar right there. Coming straight out of Sebastian Inlet, straight to Sail, you know, the northeast side of Sail. It brings you right along the edge of that Lily's Bank there. And Lily's Bank is shallow. I'm talking like 2 feet shallow, so you can see it. So if you're coming from the Sebastian area, just watch out for that. When you see it, just make sure you give yourself a wide enough margin to not get caught in any shallow water. Once I get closer, I'll show you guys the bank because you can see it clear as day. But if you come out of any inlet south of Sebastian, you're totally fine, and Lily Bank is not a factor whatsoever. But look at this water. We're finally in that blue Bahamian water. Woo. Now we just need the sun to come out a little bit. You can see we got a little bit of blue sky peeping out. Let's hope it continues. All right, so we're approaching the Lily Bank now. You can see that boat is us. You can see it on the map there. And I mentioned earlier how you can see it in the water and just drive around it. I hope this comes through the camera, but you can see the like seafoam green colored water, light blue, light green. That's the bank right there. Basically when you're, that's Lily's Bank. When you're on, in the Bahamas and the Bahamian waters, generally speaking, really light colored water is very shallow water. So try to stay in the darker water. That's completely different than some areas. But here in the Bahamas, light equals shallow. Stay in the dark stuff, but there it is. And it looks like actually our current path, it has us passing within 100 yards of it, but I think we're pretty good. I don't think we're gonna go over it whatsoever, so I'm altering course and we're onwards to Little Sail. We have 24 nautical miles left, so we're making really good timing. We'll be there by 11, and then to get to Treasure from there is probably another hour and a half, so really not bad at all. So I'll keep you updated. Whew, I might have spoke a little bit too soon. We just hit this one little finger. Look at that watercolor though. We just got that one tiny little finger of the sandbar, and besides that, we're skirting on the outsides. And right now it is dead high tide, so it's, I don't know, probably 5 to 6 feet deep on the sandbar. So realistically, I could just run straight over it, but it's not always like that. It's good practice just to go around it. All right, so we made it to Sail. That's Little Sail, and then the island behind it. That's Great Sail. And so after Sail, the next stop is going to be Crab Key or Spanish Key. Crab is right before Spanish. I like to put Crab in because it's a direct line route. But this is Sail right here. If you follow the map up, this little entrance cut right here. This is Spanish right here. This is Crab right here. And so Crab is kind of the entrance into the Sea of Abaco. And so that's pretty much the last kind of like waypoint. We just kind of blindly going in that direction. Once you're at Crab, you can just follow Great Abaco all the way down to Treasure. But we're at Sail right now, and we have 33 nautical miles to go to a Crab, so should be a little bit under an hour, and we'll be there. Right now we're cruising like 33 knots, so exactly an hour, but pretty much it. There's really not a whole lot to update. The bank is windy, so it's a little bit choppy. As I was saying, not a whole lot to update. On the way to Crab, 30 miles to go. I'll catch up with you then, because that's the entrance to the Sea of Abaco, and it's a very pretty and a pretty quick ride to Treasure from there. All right, and so in between Sail and Spanish/Crab Key, you do have another little sandbar like I showed y'all back there. Like Lily Bank. You can see this is Sail. Spanish is up here. you have this sandbar right here. And the process is still the same. Once you get close to it, you can see it. It just looks like white seafoam water. There's really nothing to it. Just stay off to the, we're going south, stay off to the east side of it, or west side of it, and you'll be good to go. You know, like I said, at high tide, I can definitely just run over it, but it's not good practice. Just moral of the story, watch where you're going. If you look at the water here in the Bahamas, the water is crystal clear. You can see where the sandbars are. You can see where everything is. So look at your charts, use some common sense. You can see the sandbar. Just know that there is this sandbar in between Spanish and Sail. This is that sandbar that I just told y'all about. I hope it comes through on the camera, but like I said, they're easy to spot out here. Just keep your eyes open, use some common sense, and you'll be all good. All right, so quick update. We're about to get to crab. You can see here, crab. This little cut right here, that's like the entrance to the Sea of Abacos. Once you're past that, you're technically in the Abacos. There's the island right there. And so once you get here, you can see here, you basically just follow the island all the way down and it takes you directly to Treasure. You can look, follow this island all the way down. That's Green Turtle, and this is Treasure Cay right here. So once you get around that little entrance, it's super, super easy. Literally follow the island and you'll see, first you're gonna see Green Turtle on your left, just past that Treasure on your right. Once you get through Whale Cay, then you got Guana, Mandamore, Elbow, and Marsh Harbor. Yeah, it's super easy, so of course I'm gonna keep you updated as we go further, but once you make this turn here, next stop, Treasure Cay. This is the island of Great Abaco. As I said earlier, you just follow it all the way down. And this is that port up by Cooperstown that nobody really knows what is going on with. Basically, as far as I understand, they hired a Chinese company to come in and build this port. They built it. It's nice and sizable. It's been years and years since it's finished, but they're not doing anything with it. It's not open. They still have these giant mountains of sand for the dredging. I wonder what they're gonna do with it, because they need to do something. They spent way too much money on it, and it's way too nice of a port just to have sitting unused. And it'll be nice to have another port besides Marsh Harbor. You know, give people more options, you know, allow more traffic to come in and out of here. So we'll see if they ever do anything with it. In this town that you'd pass going up the island, that's Cooperstown. It's pretty much just a local Bahamian town. You know, there's nothing in the way of tourism there. But if you're in the area looking for something to do, you know, it's worth driving from Treasure or Marsh. It's cool to see, just to say you've been there. On the backside of Cooperstown, there's some amazing boat fishing if y'all are into that. All right, we're just passing Green Turtle. Here she is. That's New Plymouth right there. We're almost there. If you look way out in the distance over there, you can see the Treasure Cay beach and the white roofs of the Bahama Beach Club. Woo, we're just about there. We're passing the Treasure Cay beach right now. Look at that beautiful beach. The best beach in the world. But to get around to the marina, you have to go around to the backside of the island. This is the beach right here. That's the marina, so you gotta go around here. And to get back there, you have to go around Sandy Point through Del Rock Channel, which you gotta hook some rocks pretty close. So I'm gonna set the GoPro up in the little camera mount here while I go through to give y'all an idea of how close you're running to these rocks to get out and around the Treasure Cay beach. So feels good to be back, even though I've only been gone for a week. Still feels good to be back. Whew, we made it to Treasure and actually made a really good time. We cleared Sebastian Inlet at what, 6:50 a.m. and it's now 12:50, so 6 hours. I wasn't pushing it, you know, I was going pretty much 30 knots the entire way, 30, 32 knots. You know, when in reality I can cruise 45 knots all day, every day if I want to on this boat. So all in all, great crossing, fantastic crossing. So feels good to be back at Treasure. Melly's actually waiting for me at the dock right now, so excited to see her as well. All right, Mama, what'd you think of the crossing?
It was a lot of fun.
Easy one, rough?
I mean, the very beginning kind of freaked me out a little bit, but once you got into your groove, it was great. It wasn't too bad at all.
Extremely good crossing, and let me tell you, again, I said I'm not going to mention it too much because there's a whole nother video coming on it.
All the time.
But these new motors, holy bejeezers, they absolutely blow the old motors out of the water. I am in love with them, but that's the last comment I'm going to say in this video about them because I'm going to save the goodies and the performance for another video, but V10 power, baby. All right, so we made it. We're here at the dock. You guys saw that Melly met us. With Clear Customs, I know one of the customs officers, so I called and she came and met us here and cleared us into customs. And so now the very long process of unpacking the boat begins, but that's something you guys are interested in, so that's about it for this video. Again, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you like this kind of stuff, if you like boats, the Bahamas, any of it, please subscribe, like the video, comment below what you want to see. It really, really helps me, but that's it. I'll see you in the next one.